Campbell still in that isolated third position. Finn Smart, Corey Stainer and Emmanuel Brinton have been separated by less than 2 seconds throughout this race. This is where Belford starts the game, through the twisty stuff. After the carousel, hasn't made up so much on this lap, Evan Belford, but he is going to think about a move down the inside into the final lap. He knows that that's the best place to make a pass because it's where O'Gorman doesn't seem to have the same speed. Now, Evan Belford tried the outside line around Paddock Bend. That time, he tried something different. He thought about a move down the inside of Paddock Bend. Which way will he go on this final lap? Because that's what it's going to come down to. Casey O'Gorman and Evan Belford. Never more than half a second between these two in race number 1 in the Mini GP 50s. 25 seconds back now. Finn Smart leads Corey Stainer and Emmanuel Brinton over the line. Brinton gaining on that lap. Less than half a second now back from P5. The lead runners are coming in through the twists and turns of the Devil's Elbow. Belford gaining once again. Last bend. Gets the better run. Then nose to tail coming over the line, but Belford has no way through. Casey O'Gorman wins yet again and confirms himself the champion in the Mini GP 50 category with a round to spare. Evan Belford, disappointed I'm sure he'll be, but that was an outstanding ride nonetheless in second position. Bailey Stewart Campbell will come round the final turn to complete the top 3 runners, and a good job he did as well. A solid, consistent third place finish. And this group, 4th, 5th and 6th positions. A celebration from Finn Smart over the line. That was a great ride. Through from 6th position up to 4th, and then holding on against the attentions of Emmanuel Brinton in particular, who picked off Corey Stainer and then set a new personal best lap on the final lap to finish just 0.3 of a second back from Finn Smart in 5th place. Casey O'Gorman the winner then, a 1/10 of a second clear of Evan Belford. Bailey Stewart Campbell in 3rd, Finn Smart, Emmanuel Brinton, Corey Stainer, the secondary battle really in race number 1 in the Mini GP 50s.
The original and best British championships for mini bikes. This is Cool Fab Racing.
So out on track right now, heading to the grid to start their race. It is the Senior Mini Motos, and here with the grid is Alex Raby.
Race 1 in the Senior Mini Moto category then. It's Will Howarth who leads the championship by 87 points, but his nearest rival, not taking part this weekend at round 7, so it's up to Mark Payne to try and make up some ground, and he could only manage to qualify in 7th position. Will Howarth with a 100-point lead over his nearest rival taking part this weekend, who is Mark Payne. And with that 100 points, he could well have sewn up the championship by the end of this weekend. It won't be in this race, but he can take one step towards it if he can take the 25 championship points. Will Howarth, who was unbeaten in the opening 2 rounds, also the top scorer in the last 2 rounds, he will be the favourite then from pole position. Brandon Payne alongside him as we prepare to get underway with race number 1 in the senior mini motos. Green lights and away we go. It was a better start actually for Brandon Payne than it was for Will Howarth, but Howarth had the inside line and commanded it well, making good progress. Nick Bennett from 5th position on the grid, making his way through to 4th on the first turn and holds on to 4th place as they go up to the far end of the circuit and round the spoon now. The race lead is with Will Howarth. Brandon Payne actually crossed the start-finish line ahead of Will Howarth. That's how well he managed to get away from 2nd, but Howarth has now broken clear quite swiftly, and he's leaving the others to fight over 2nd place. 5th position, there's a battle going on there as well. Is that Mark Payne trying to come back through the order? Payne is certainly in the mix in the mid-pack of this race, but it's Will Howarth who has broken well clear. Nick Bennett with a strong ride early on in 4th position. Almost had a look at taking 3rd place there through Devil's Elbow. Howarth it is who leads. Payne, 1.5 seconds back already. It's Justin Bainbridge in 3rd. He ran a little bit wide through Devil's Elbow, and that's what gave Nick Bennett an opportunity to try and close in. He couldn't capitalise on it. He remains 4th. Paul Nichols holds 5th position. It was indeed Ryan Grant trying to come through. He still occupies 6th place. Mark Payne in 7th. So Payne is still where he was off the line, but he's involved